There's this stereotype about being a pastor's child, or better still, being pastor's children, especially pastor's daughters. There's this thing about them, people expect them to be oligolistic, they expect them to be the perfect being. And I'm wondering, like, hello, the same way you're human generally, also I'm human, we are all human, okay? And the fact that, oh, this person is a pastor's child, pastor daughter, doesn't make any difference. Okay, so I was conversing with a friend, and the person was like, one of the biggest mistakes, like one of the biggest regrets he has is being a pastor's daughter. And I was like, auntie, well, it's a little bit now, it's not that bad, okay? But like, as I'm really enjoying it, being a pastor's child, okay? Because it's one of the greatest joy, greatest gift ever. All right, so welcome back again to the channel. My name is Daniela Oduanya. This is the knowledge acting show where we create beautiful, amazing content. So if you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting for? Click on the subscribe button to join this great family, because this year 2021 we are hitting over 1,000 subscribers. So yeah, be a part of this growth, be a part of this development. Yeah, so as you guys can already tell from the title of this video, it says being a pastor's daughter. So in this video, I'm talking about the myth and reality of a pastor's daughter, of being a pastor's daughter. Like I said at the intro, I feel there's this stereotype people have about pastor's daughters, especially pastor's daughter, not just the children, pastors daughters. So I'm talking about the myth and the reality, like how it is really, not just the myth people have, the reality of it all. So yeah, please do stay tuned and comment down below if you're a pastor's daughter, and yeah, definitely you would want to share a bit of your own experience about what I'm about to talk about. So the first thing I have here is that as a pastor's daughter, you're expected to be spiritually inclined. Okay, to some extent that is true, because yes, sometimes when a member cannot get through to your parents, they tend to call you and like, oh, please, I need some prayer. I think something like this happened to me while I was in university. A woman, she was abroad, then she called me that, oh, I should have been trying to call my parents, and then the number hasn't been, like, she hasn't been able to get through to them. Then for some reason I should just pray for her, that she really needs the prayer urgently. So yeah, definitely I did pray, and then the next day I called my parents, like, see, something happened, and they were like, oh, okay. Then they called her and everything, and she was like, oh, thank you so much, it really worked out, and da. And I was like, okay, yeah, so let's assume I wasn't spiritually inclined, or more Auntie Don Jones. So yeah, that is true, that as a pastor's daughter, you're expected to be spiritually inclined. It is very, very important. So they say as a pastor's daughter, you're expected to be gentle. Now, my own view is that, see, gentility is inborn, if I would say. It's not inbuilt. Okay, I am not that gentle. I always choose to be gentle when I want to be gentle. Okay, so you can't tell me, oh, please, you have to be gentle, you have to do, no. Hello, do you have the book of pastor's children? Are you the one that should come and teach me how I would be able to do my own life? You can't tell me, okay, you have to be gentle when I am not a gentle person. Sometimes even for me, gentility self can lead you to be sick. Okay, it's really tiring. So you cannot just say all pastor's children that are expected to be gentle. For what now? Why the pretense? Okay, why the pretense? Then thirdly, as a pastor's child, then you're expected to things you just overlook. For instance, while I was growing up, especially when I was in GSS3, one lady was like, and you call yourself a pastor's daughter, and oh shit, you don't mean that. come and receive response. Because there's this thing, I don't know why people just feel like you offend a pastor's child, most especially a pastor's daughter, and you expect her to just be like, oh, the Lord be with you, because the Bible says if someone slap you, you turn the next. Please, see, for the Bible scholars watching this, what does that passage really mean? Explain this, comment down below. Let's all learn, okay? But then the lady was like, you call yourself a pastor, and I'm like, hello, you just insulted me, you just did it, you just did that, and you expect me to be quiet just because I'm a pastor? Listen, there's a difference between being a pastor's child and being, knowledgeable. There's a difference between being a fool and being smart, okay? And there's a difference between you being sincere and pretense. You cannot say, oh, you basically, people would insult you, they will do things that are really annoying, and then you're trying to say, you don't do this with that, I'm like, oh, you call yourself a pastor child. Please, yes, I call it myself a pastor child. Do you expect me to keep quiet what you just did? I call it myself a pastor child. Do you expect me to be quiet? No, please. If you are that kind of person, the most perfect, most everything that you think you are, please stop that, because you don't know, tomorrow you can end up being a pastor's wife, and then let me see, maybe you'll be able to take all these things. The pastor's daughter, you're expected to compromise for your parents' sake. Okay, so this thing really is kind of funny, because I feel this thing has to do with more with parents. If your parents are this kind of people that they talk about people doing makeup, they talk about people wearing trousers, they say no, they're against people doing that, makeup, trousers, contacts, latches, and all the like. See, as a pastor speaking, okay, better say the pastor's daughter, you better shy of it. Just accept it that you cannot do all these things, because when your parents are trying to say, oh, no, they're teaching other people's children, or okay, you can't do this, you can't do that, and yeah, you as the jagaban of the house, you want to be using something else. No, it can't work, okay? Because people begin to insult your parents through you. You can correct other people's children, you cannot correct your own child. So I feel like as a pastor's child, see, to make everything balance, okay, compromise. You have to learn to compromise. If your parents are against makeup, I don't think you should, okay, because that it is what it is. So maybe you tell your parent that my parent, don't be against this, don't be against that. But seriously, as a pastor, so you're expected to compromise for your parents' sake. If your parents are against a particular doctrine or thing, then it's expected that you as well, you should not do it, okay? You shouldn't do it. Then also, lastly, I would like to say that a pastor's child is expected to be respectful, modest, dress decently. You're just expected to be this only kind of person, which is true to some extent, because they'll tell you that a pastor's child is like a mirror. Like you're like a mirror. You're like the face people see of your parents. They'll tell you that if you want to know how a parent was during his or her youthful days, it's through the child, which is true, because as a pastor's daughter, you're like an example to others. You're like pace setters to others. Sometimes you have youths in the church, they'll tell you, okay, you're the pastor's child, go and preach to this youth, go and do this, go and do that, because you're a pastor's child. They expect it because, okay, you're already you, that you're tapping directly from the source, okay, preach it, yeah. So then you're expected to dress modest and all. Pastors' children are like how would I put it? They're this kind of people in which people tend to correct more often. People tend to correct them more often than not. Now, while growing up, I used to be the kind of person that I don't wear trousers, I don't use earring, I don't use necklace, I don't use all these kind of things. But then, at some point, I had to ask that, wait, why am I not using all these things? And then my mom was like, oh, there's this woman in the church that said that it's not good, it's against the doctrine to use earring, to use powder, to use this, that. And then, so they had to stop me from using all these things. Guys, guess what? You see, this woman, I wouldn't have even been so concerned if the woman's daughter herself was doing the same thing her mother was preaching about, because she tends to be she was a preacher of doctrine. So she was telling people like, okay, you can't do that. Then I was like, okay, if you see this woman's child, see, she uses earrings, dropping earrings, she uses big necklaces, she uses makeup, contact, like she uses all this, and I'm like, okay, so it's fine for your own child to use this, but then you can correct other people's children not to use it. No, it doesn't make sense. So I was like, see, that's not a major reason, a rationale why I shouldn't use all these things, because if I like something, I don't think I should be denied of using them, okay? And then I was able to talk to them, and they were like, okay, fine, if it suits you, if you are good with it, then fine. That is it basically. I feel like most people tend to just be like a preacher of this thing, don't do this, don't do that, because you're a pastor child, don't do this, don't do that. And then another thing is that as a pastor child, they expect you that, oh, you shouldn't be like, no, all these songs and everything. Now, there was a conversation I was having some days back with my colleague, and they were like, oh, Diana, you know Naira Marley? I was like, yes, I know Naira Marley. You were like, oh, you know David, you know this? I was like, yeah. And he said, you're a pastor's child, how come you know all these people? Please, did I put what's it called, a in my ear? Is my ear covered that I cannot hear all these things, or what? Why do people like pretense? You like people to pretend to you, like, oh yeah, I'm this oligolistic person. Like, who today? Who is it really? If you are a social media person and you check social media, you check all these things, how will you say you do not know this kind of people? You do not know all these kind of things. In fact, you are a liar. Okay, you're a liar. So please stop making it feel like it's a sin to be a pastor's child. Don't stop making it feel like, oh, it's bad. Okay, if you are this kind of person, you feel like, oh, this is this, this is that. Please stop it, because it does not make any sense. Okay, it does not make any sense. If you're a pastor's daughter or you're a pastor's child and you're watching it and you feel like that some things people ought to stop, because it's more like you're shaming them. I don't see that as a shame, because every time you're a pastor's daughter, yes, I am a pastor's daughter, but I will still correct you of the wrong you just did, because it is bad. Okay, yeah. So, but some people feel bad. They feel so ashamed of it. They don't want people to know that they're pastor's children for some reason. But me, I'm so proud of being a pastor's daughter. Okay, all right, let's rock it. Yeah. So if you're a pastor's child, I feel like this thing I'm saying is actually true, correct. And I feel like most people need to stop it. And you feel like you've had experience, all these kind of people, and you're like, oh, yeah, a pastor's child. Oh, you call yourself a pastor. Your father is a pastor and your mother is a this, that. Please stop it if you're that kind of people. Okay, so I just said I should just come out here to just share my own little nitty-gritty about this thing, this stereotype about pastors' daughters, especially pastors' children, most especially. So I'll see you in my next episode, and please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I'll see you in my next episode. Until next time.